the heart of Whispering Woods lived Sammy, a small red squirrel with bright, curious eyes and a fluffy tail that twitched with excitement. Every morning, Sammy would wake up as the first rays of sunlight touched the treetops, eager to begin another day of adventures in his forest home. After breakfast of acorns and berries, Sammy would visit his friends, wise old Albert, the strong but gentle Bertha, and speedy rabbit Rico. Sammy loved exploring every corner of the forest, from the babbling brook to the highest branches, where he could see the whole world below. The forest was thriving with life, from the smallest insects to the tallest trees, all living in perfect balance and harmony. One day, strange noises echoed through the forest, loud rumbling sounds that made the ground tremble and the birds scatter in fear. The next morning, Sammy and his friends discovered something shocking tall. Noisy machines had arrived at the edge of the forest, and humans were wielding shiny axes, inciting incident. As the largest tree fell with a thunderous crash, Sammy knew their peaceful home was in grave danger. The adventure to save their forest had begun. Act II, Rising Action. Sammy called an emergency meeting of all forest creatures, sharing his fears about the destruction of their home. Albert, the wise old owl, suggested they try talking to the humans, explaining that the forest was everyone's home. That night, Sammy bravely approached the human camp, only to be scared away by bright lights and loud noises. Discouraged, but not defeated, Sammy met with Rabbit Rico, who suggested using speed and cleverness to outsmart the humans. The next morning, Rico began creating distractions, rustling leaves, making funny noises, and leading humans on wild chases through the forest. While the humans were distracted, Sammy and Bertha worked together to hide tools and small equipment, slowing down the destruction. For days, their plan worked, but the humans persisted. Sammy knew they needed a bigger, bolder idea to save their home. During a night of careful observation, Sammy noticed something important. The humans seemed to be measuring and marking specific trees, not cutting randomly. Sammy realized the humans weren't planning to clear-cut the entire forest, but to build a road that would only cut through a small section. With this new information, Sammy called another forest meeting, sharing his discovery and proposing a new plan. They decided to show the humans the beauty and value of the forest, hoping to change their minds about building the road. The next morning, as the humans prepared to begin work, the forest came alive with an extraordinary display of natural beauty. Humans stopped and watched in amazement as the forest revealed its hidden wonders. Glowing mushrooms, crystal clear streams, and ancient trees that had stood for centuries. The head human, a woman with kind eyes named Dr. Green, stepped forward to get a closer look at the extraordinary forest ecosystem. Climax Sammy, gathering all his courage, approached Dr. Green and chattered loudly, trying to communicate the importance of preserving their forest home. To everyone's surprise, Dr. Green seemed to understand. She knelt down and spoke softly to Sammy, then turned to her team. After a discussion with her team, Dr. Green announced they would change their plans. Instead of building a road, they would create a nature preserve to protect the forest. Act III, Falling Action. The humans stayed for several weeks, studying the forest and helping to restore areas that had already been disturbed. Sammy and his friends watched in amazement as the humans who once seemed like threats became allies in protecting their forest home. When the humans finally left, they left behind a sign that declared the forest a protected area, promising to return only to study and help. Returning to his tree home, Sammy realized he had changed. He was no longer just a curious little squirrel, but a leader who had made a difference. Resolution. From that day on, Whispering Woods flourished, and Sammy became known as the brave little squirrel who saved the forest, reminding everyone that even the smallest among us can make the biggest difference.